I want to go quickly in this session through the, how many is that? 14 of the light bulb moments, and looking at some of the things that the CDE has done. I'm not going to go into that in any great detail because I believe that NASA are going to provide you all with the 6Ps documents, and I will be ending the final session by telling you how to go about finding and getting access and downloading all of the content from the Commission. But these are just some of the things that I want to cover in this next session. Now, I talked about the 28 projects before. Just to let you know, as I said before, there were nearly a couple of thousand people involved in putting these projects together. The 28 projects all were required to list out practical things that people could do to improve the donor experience in their organization. And so the combined total of these is 526. And I believe if you Google 526, you will get a link directly to the Commission on the Donor Experience. And we have more than 250 case histories, which some of them are very short, some of them are really quite detailed, but they show donor-focused fundraising at work and being effective in different organizations. And the whole point of this is to make easily accessible the best understanding and knowledge so that people can put this into practice in their organizations if they wish. Now, one of the fundraising directors who was heavily involved is from one of Britain's largest charities, Guide Dogs, and she said this, and I think it's interesting. She says, "I believe that this work will remain the cornerstone of best practice for many years to come. Its credibility is based on the combined experience and insight of fundraising practitioners, consultants, and the voices of over 1,000 fundraisers, donors, and others who have contributed countless voluntary hours to its creation. The rich seams of wisdom are present in every recommendation and in every one of the 250 case studies." She then goes on to say, more bravery is required, because as good as it is, there has never been more bravery required in our profession to actually put these things into practice. So this is the document, the 6Ps document. It's nothing to do with peas in the pods. I will run through briefly the 6Ps, but before I do, I want to actually mention somebody in the audience today who has made a fantastic and truly significant contribution to the work of the Commission on the Donor Experience, and that's Rainier Spruitt. Now, we did actually get a number of Dutch fundraisers playing an active part in what we were doing, but Rainier took responsibility for the case histories. He volunteered, and he played as active a part, although this was a British initiative responding to a British domestic problem, but with the intention always of sharing it with the whole world. I think it was remarkable and singular because you played as big a part in its creation as anybody did. So that's really great to the credit of Holland, and that's why I'm particularly pleased to be here today. And I just want to quote something that you said, Rainier. You said, "Do get CDE's beautiful manifesto," that's the 6Ps document, "because the translation offers me the chance to consider each and every word, and I'm now more aware than ever how much importance this document contains." I can tell you that the writers of the 6Ps document found that a very encouraging quote. So the 6Ps are purpose. It sets out the purpose, which is a transformational culture change in the DNA of our sector to switch the focus from transactional, financial, target-led fundraising to putting the donor at the heart of fundraising strategies. permanent change. We're not talking about something that will be temporary, that will be here today and gone tomorrow. Something that's principle-led, that is built upon solid pillars of change, and there are 12 of those, and that has the 526 practical actions and ends with a promise to the donors. So that's why it's the 6P document. Okay, and I do ask you, it's only 8 pages, I do ask you to pay attention to that document because I think, as Rennie says, it is a very important document. So just quickly, the 7 principles are quite simple. The donor's experience should be consistently great. The donor-based approach will make charities stronger, not weaker. High ideals have to govern fundraising. Passion will be more in evidence than slick professionalism. Measuring fundraising, not just in money, but in a whole range. There was a specific project about measurement of developing key performance indicators that are not just based on finance. The principle that not all fundraising is automatically good fundraising. Donors have to believe that fundraising is acceptable. And finally, that fundraising is an investment, not a cost. The 12 pillars of lasting change are to do with consideration, integrity for the donor underpinning every contact, that donors will be in the driving seat of relationships. This is a big change. Charities will recruit the right people. Every communication should leave the donor feeling better about the causes he or she supports. We should always be wonderful people to deal with. We need to make sure that fundraisers are always learning. Sorry, I'll let you take that photo. I will let you have these. This is all in the 6P document, so I don't need to worry too much about this. That leadership needs to change, new views of risk, investment and return, increasing our aspirations. We need to be more ambitious in terms of of excellence. We want to improve public passion for and belief in and commitment to fundraising. We want to be innovative in terms of the communications that we send out. And we want to ask all organizations to make a formal commitment, a promise to donors based on that.